Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Anvil. I'm your host, Michael Peterson. Today we're with Ryan Coakley. Get to say his name right. Easy name to say. Some people's last name is like, how do you say that? Anyway, I digress. First up, though, let's get this out of the way. Our sponsor tonight's show is Valor Printing LLC. Check them out for all your comic books, your printing, your vinyl, business cards, whatever you need. Custom design. Most of my, besides this AI thing, most of the logos were designed by Dan DeMille of Valor Printing LLC. Check him out at valorprintingllc.com. He doesn't know I did that, but I'm going to do that anyway. So I like to support other people. Tonight, Ryan, you're a knife maker now, and podcast host yourself. Um, Dive in and tell us a little bit about yourself, where you got started, and all the fun stuff.
Oh man, this is very different because I'm used to being the interviewer instead of the interviewee.
Time to learn.
Um, yeah, my podcast is the Hustle and Grind podcast. It's a knife centric podcast. You can find us on all platforms. Me and my co-host Noah of the Antioch River Forge, and we do episodes every week. And
Nice.
I am a knife maker. I made my first knife in 2018. And since then it's kind of grown, not kind of, it's grown and morphed and evolved into almost a full-time deal. I still keep a job on the hook on the side just in case, because I hate not having a backup. But yeah,
I'm full time right myself. It's been pretty good. It's kind of hit that slow point and thinking, yeah, maybe I ought to go get a backup, but I don't know. I don't really care for working for anybody anymore, but that's just me. What got you into knife making?
I've always loved knives, and I was buying a lot of knives, and stupidly I thought if I learn to make them, it'll be cheaper than just buying them.
True.
And well, I mean, it didn't. It I quickly realized I was incorrect, but it was too late by then, and I already had the bug. So
Got hooked.
yeah, I'm in it now. I'm in my shop right now. I don't know if you released the video or not, but
I do. I'd put this on YouTube
oh, okay.
so they can see your beautiful face.
Yeah, I wore my good teeth today.
Hey, nice. I wore my this. So 2018, you decided that you want to make your own knife and got into it a little bit. Kind of walk us through your process of how you got into it because everybody's got a different story. Did you learn from somebody else, or is this all fire and big scrap pile?
Yeah, I started. The job I had at the time, the boss was cool enough to let me set up a little workshop in my bay because I'm a small engine mechanic by trade,
Nice.
and I started with have you seen those 2x36 multi tools that you put on bench grinders?
Yes.
Yeah, I started with one of those. I made my first kiln, and then around that time, Brian House came out with his Gen 1 Revolution kit. And I didn't have the money at the time to buy the kit. So I bought the plans and I cut them out of plate steel and did it that way.
Nice.
I still have that grinder today. I don't use it as much as I used to, but she's sentimental, so I can't get rid of it.
I hear you. I got the grinder I learned on when I was about 9, 10 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
by 62, which they quit making them about the time I was born. It's got a rotary head on it. I don't use it anymore because the belts are you have to have them make custom made, everything else like that. But it's a fun grinder. I keep it. I usually take it for shows and such like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
My primary grinder now, I have two Ameribraids,
nice.
and those are my workhorses. Yeah.
So as we talked earlier, you're saying you're not a forger, but you are stock removal, which is
Mm-hmm.
okay. I mean, I think that's a dirty word, but hey, that no, just kidding. uh, you can go ahead and hit that if you want. I don't care. So,
I was gonna pick my tooth, and then I remembered that you record video, and I was like, I'll just leave that little piece of ham in.
you can do it, man. Hey, this is free podcast. I mark it when I put it on YouTube. I mark it for adults. So,
I do chain smoke, just so you know, and your
hey,
listeners
nice.
or watchers know, just so they know.
Smoking is bad for you.
It is. I smoke for medicinal purposes. So
There you go.
yeah.
Keeps you from killing people, right?
Yeah. I guess it's actually legitimately for medical purposes, which everybody laughs at me for, but I'm
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of
no.
people that do that as well, and thank God because a lot of yeah, they it helps them out. It works good.
Yeah. No, I mean tobacco. I have gout. I get gout like really bad.
Oh, no
And
kidding.
smoking tobacco helps with gout.
Oh, that's
So,
cool. Hey, I learn something new every day.
yeah, my doctor said it's something to do with the oxidative stress on your blood, which is whatever. My wife hates it, but I can walk, so we're cool.
Hey, try a cherry stem juice as well.
Mm,
Tea.
that
That
stuff is rugged. Straight cherry juice. Oh,
the stem.
oh, just like making tea out of the stem.
Yeah, they have a tea on that. I believe
Oh.
that's and the cherry juice itself works as well. But the if I remember correctly, don't quote me on that. Somebody's going to jump in the comment. No, that's not what you're talking. Um, I can check with my mom too on that. But I believe the cherry stem extract is good for the help fight against gout. So it says something. I
I'll look into
Google
that.
it.
I'll look into that. They got me on some new meds now, so I'm feeling pretty good. But
Hey, that's
it's
good. As long as it doesn't grow another kidney or another head. I mean, medical
right. Yeah.
these days. I mean, good Lord. Since 2020, do we really trust our medical system?
My doctor Googles things in front of me. I'm like, really? I could have Googled that. I didn't have to
Right.
drive in here to Google it. But
Oh, well, they got it. I was listening to a show one time. They were talking about this medical AI. It's basically it'll take all the medical stuff out there, compile it instead of trying to get in with other doctors, and doctors just upload their stuff, case files up and everything. So AI can do that, get a better answer. I think that's going to be really cool instead of trying to get a hold of people. Weird cases come up they've never seen, they can get on there. That's a cool idea. But anyway, back to knives. Squirrel moment. That is our what I call our squirrel moment, folks. So,
I fully understand. I have a co-host that wrangles me from those moments because I'm like you, and I'll do the same thing.
oh, got ADHD with a little ODD and a little autism,
I got a bunch of the D's up there.
right?
So it is what it is.
I
But
think
yeah.
honestly, I think to be a maker, not only the knives but blacksmithing, everybody I've noticed is at some level of it. I mean, most people can manage it a lot better. I think it's kind of a qualification of being a knife maker. I mean, I'm not saying all of us have that, but a lot of us do that are like me.
Mhm.
And, and I don't know, it's just something I've noticed. I think so. And then procrastination is another another thing. So, and I love a
For sure.
coffee. So, what kind of style of knife do you like to make most? Yeah, most. I know you said you'll make anything if they're willing to pay for it, but what is your go-to blade? What is your?
Um, for me, that's a hard question because I do it in a way. I make knives and I make a living at it in a way that 99% of other knife makers don't do. So a majority of my work is bulk batch work under NDAs for other companies.
Oh, nice.
So a majority of my work doesn't even have my name on it. My stuff, when it does have my name on it, I really like culinary knives. I love chef knives. But like you said, I will make anything anybody's willing to pay me to make. And I do other things too, because doing this it's a really hard hustle. So making ends meet off of only knives is tough. So I
Yes.
stabilize wood, I make my own handle material and sell my excess handle material to people. Or I offer heat treat and bevel grinding services to other makers who are crushing it and they're buried on orders. So I've got a few clients like Walker Knives. He's also out of Maine. I do some knives for Knives by Nuge. I have some deals with some restaurants, and basically they'll send me the knives either heat treated or not, and I'll do the heat treat and grind in the bevels to their specs however they want, and send them back.
Very nice. That's not a bad idea. I never really considered that, but um, everyone's like, "Wow, that'd be working for somebody else." Yeah, but it's making knives, right? I mean, it's fun. I mean, I like this because I make money from it. I don't have to. My commute's like 50 feet, so
Yeah,
I used to drive trucks, so I don't really want to do that again. But if we got to, we got to.
right. Got to do
So
what you got to do.
lately, I've been working into the friction folders. A friend of mine, shout out to Joshua. Eubanks with Rusty Chisel Engraving. New name for he came up with. Guy does some really awesome engraving, hand engraving. It's silver on up, just beautiful work. But he helped me walk me through a few times of making a couple of friction folders, and for the life of me, looking at pictures, looking at taking a knife apart, still couldn't figure out until somebody walked me through it and was like, "Oh, I feel like an idiot. I can do this now," and I'm kind of kicking them out left and right. So it's fun. It's a little change of pace. I'll probably be doing that a lot more.
Hmm.
I got one, a prototype that we came up with out of the design of my knives. He took a picture of one of my knives, took it down into shape, but we're also be able to cut a hole in it so we can use it, close that knife up. You can cut your cigar with it. So,
That's kind of cool. I like that.
right.
Um,
Um,
th- Doing what I do, it's a stressor on your skills a lot because when you're making or doing a part of the process like grinding for another maker, they want their knives to be indistinguishable from the ones they ground to the ones you ground. So I a lot of the times I have to change up my usual comfortable style to match what they do, and that can be pretty challenging.
I'll
Like I don't
imagine.
use it. Yeah, I don't use a jig. I don't freehand. I kind of do a mixture of the both. I grind off the work rest with a push stick. So
I, I kind of freehand, but I also got a push stick, or sometimes depending on the blade. I have for wrist reasons anymore. I put a pair of vice grips on, clamp that on there, and just kind of just man, I tell you what, I'd be able to do that. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're twisting your wrist," and you're not twisting your wrist. I can't explain to you. You just kind of push it, grain from the edge back when I teach
yeah,
classes. So
it's not enough pressure to be considered twisting. I would
yes,
say it's very subtle.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I thought it was in the wrist, well, but really, it's kind of just kind of put my thumb on the spot, certain spot, and just push.
Hmm.
So, but I also forge a lot of my stuff, my bevel's in. So I'm probably about 85% complete on my bevel because I usually forge everything in. But that's my style. Now, stock removal, I do a little bit of that. And I'll tell you what, I had to relearn how to grind blades when I started doing that a few years ago. So, it was a little bit challenging, but now it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Um, so what part of the process do you enjoy yourself? Because we're dealing with stock removing. What is your favorite part of the process of knife making that you really enjoy?
Oh man, I don't know. It's getting to the point now where it seems like work. So it's like,
Ooh,
it's sometimes I don't know. Grinding is very monotonous, but there's also something soothing about just putting the respirator on, putting your headphones on, and just zoning out for like 4 hours. Um, my I can tell you my least favorite part, and that's glue up.
mm, fit and
I
finish,
don't. Yeah, it's a
the layup.
tactile. The glue up, the tactile of the sticky, it bugs me. I don't
That's
like
what
it.
she said.
Yeah. But
But
I would say if I'm being 100% honest, not to sound like a friggin' greedy miser, but getting paid is my favorite part, I think.
I I quite enjoy that myself because I can pay my bills. I'm pay for my house, pay for the you know the lifestyle I've got. But
The
I got
stress goes away.
yep. At that
Yeah.
point, yes.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't have to deal with a manager, so I hate that. I shouldn't. I should never. I should have done this years ago. Back in the, I'm 40. I should have done this. I mean, when YouTube came out, if I had any sense or had the money at the time, which I had the money because I made a lot of money in high school. If I had any of that sense when YouTube first started getting going, um, I should have been doing this, but I was dumb. Got out of high school. Oh, I am in love. I got to get married. All that stuff. And but hindsight 2020, right?
Are you still with her?
No, I'm been divorced for going on 13 years.
13 to 2012. Yeah.
So,
So it's
well,
about when I got divorced.
She moved out in 2014. I count it from there on. Legally divorced 10 years ago, but yeah, we won't get into that crap. That's a whole different story.
I understand. I'm on wife number two. So, you know,
I've been
and
actually divorced twice. The first one out of high school was 2 months, 4 days, and I don't know if that's really considered to be a marriage. So I don't
nah,
really count
that
that.
don't count. Yeah, that
Right?
doesn't count.
Do over. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just what I like doing it. I grew up around it. So I was a little naive on how everybody else did their stuff. I just figured growing up, everybody did the same thing that dad did, and a few other guys that I knew in the area. I'm from Sevier County, so there's been a lot of knife making from Sevier County and Sunapee County, Utah. You know, you got, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Buster Oronsky, Jim Ants, Johnson, Young Knives. Um,
I know Brigham,
huh?
Brigham Kendall. He's from Utah.
What part of Utah?
I have no idea. He'll hear this too because he's my homie, but I,
Right
I
on.
don't I don't know where in Utah he's at, but
Oh, well, watch. It probably did down the street. You never know. But yeah, there's a lot of big time. Look up the name Buster Oronsky if you want to get your mind blown. And the Gem of the Orient.
okay.
And then he also did a King Tut knife replica. And the story's growing up and hearing about that, but because he was my dad's mentor and such, it'll blow your mind away on that. I need to I'd have reach out to his widow and interview her because she still does knives and engraving. Oh my gosh, traditional all hands engraving.
Oh, nice.
But enough about that. So tell me who you are. Who is Ryan Coakley? Coakley. Good.
There's not much to tell, man.
Hey, dive
I'm
in
an
and share whatever you want. I mean,
I'm an introvert. I don't leave my house usually unless I'm going to the store or going to Blade Show. So
I'd love to go to Blade Show. It's
I'll be
been a
doing
few
tech.
years.
Yeah, I'll be doing Texas this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Make sure you get over to Emily Caston and give her a hug for me.
Now,
So,
speaking of her, actually, last night after we had talked about me coming on, I went back and I listened to your episode with her. What an interesting lady.
right?
I
I didn't
reached
know
out.
that.
I reaced out to Noah, my co-host, and I was like, "We got to get this woman on."
Yes, you do.
Yeah, she is very interesting.
Matter of fact, I'm not sure if I'm friends with your. I've got so many knife makers on friends on Facebook since I've been on the show and everything, and it's been an awesome networking, looking at everybody's knives and everything, getting a little inspiration here and there. But Emily, her story and listening to that, I hope I did it justice. I really do because um, that was very interesting.
Mm.
She's a great lady. I've only met her once in person. Um, would love to get down the Texas Blade Show, but not in the cards right now. So kind of living paycheck to paycheck at the moment. But I don't know. We might go jump back in the truck for a little bit and anyway, back to you.
Take a road trip. Take a road
Yeah,
trip down to Blade, Texas.
I used to go down to um, Texas Selection Knife Show, put on
Hmm.
by Phoenix Knives. Cowboy and his wife Eileen does an awesome job. Love that show. Um, Supposed to be back in 2027. I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's a really good show. If they do bring it back in 2027, definitely go hit that. It's well done. Um, you can check out Cowboys interview here as well too. So, but
Yep.
anyway, let's dive into it. So you're making knives for other people, and if you're, I'm guessing OEM for other companies, of course, you said under non-disclosure, you can't talk about that. That's understandable. Um, w- Dive into what that really like, because I can just imagine, like you're saying, you're really challenging your knife skills to make sure you're on spec. How many times do you screw up on that? Because I'm pretty sure I would have a scrap pile.
My failure rate's pretty good. Um, the trouble I run into is the deadlines because these companies that are I'm working with, some of them, not all of them, one of the bigger ones who bigger for me, he's one of my primary clients. They market the knives as if they're handmade by them, which I guess subcontracting out to me qualifies, I guess.
Well, if they're
Um,
hands-on and not a machine doing it, I mean,
oh yeah, they're all handmade, but it's a big part of what we do is social media marketing.
Mhm.
And when you do jobs like I'm taking, I'm not allowed to post them. I can't post pictures. I have to move them out of the background before I post my own stuff. Um, because, you don't want to risk your relationship with a client over a little bit of social media, over 400 views or whatever that one reel is going to get. Um, so that's a challenging part of it. And also that, like I said, the deadlines, they always want them as fast as humanly possible. I've got a pretty good rapport with all of them now where I'm like, let's be realistic. We need to set a realistic timeline instead of you want 100 knives in a month, start to finish. That's not going to happen.
No.
I'm
Best
one
I've done
guy.
is 20, 25. I've done 40 of various different types in month and 2.5 months. Actually, yeah, about 2.5 months. Won't do that again.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but I did. But anyway,
Yeah. So you know what I mean. And so they're pretty good about it because I'm like, if you push me that hard, these you're not going to be happy with these. So let's be realistic about it, and coming to that kind of agreement with your clientele is very important.
and getting that, definitely get that in writing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure what you do. What is a standard workload for you? Can you kind of have an idea, ballpark it, or
It varies because like some of them I'm not finishing all the way out. So like I've made as of mid December, I had made like 270 knives since September.
nice?
But about half of those were only heat treat and bevel grind to finish.
So you
So
treat and then grind that way.
it depends on
Yeah,
it
I do
depends
the
on the steel
opposite. Are you working with stainless steel or what do you
and
what
it everything.
everything?
Everything. And because these companies they read Magna Cut and they're like, oh, it's the best thing ever. And I'm like, okay, but it's gonna add $5,000 to your order because it's so expensive and because it's so hard to work with. So it really depends on the steel. Like I did a batch last year in CPM 3V, and that stuff's so hard to grind that it took me 3 times as long as it would have if they were ADC or V2.
That's good
You know,
steel.
yep. That's my go-to carbon is ADC or V2.
I played with it once. One thing I played with an what is it? 8670.
Yep, the pop stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's nice. I forged it and ground it. It forges like 5160, but also it feels like 1080. It's wild steel. It's I mean grind's just beautiful. Um, but yeah.
Yeah.
My choice of steel is I make cable Damascus, a little bit of random every now and then. Used to do a lot of random up till about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I started playing with cable, and then I used 1095, 1084, and 5160.
Yeah.
And a lot of recycled spring steel too. Try
Yeah.
to help keep stuff down cheaper for people.
With what I do, I can't really like say I do this one thing or this is because like with preheat treat versus post heat treat grinding, for me, it depends on the thickness of the stock and what steel it is. So like I recently did a batch of 20 for one of the companies I work with, start to finish, and they were 18 inches long and quarter-inch thick. And so those got pre-ground because if you're trying to remove hardened,
That
yeah, I mean you're removing an eighth of an inch of steel at the edge on each side, hardened 1095. You're going to eat through $300 worth of belts that you didn't really need to eat through.
and I kind of I had a thought. I saw this video, and I'm not. You definitely had to build a jig on that for something like that. Um, I saw they were taking, they picked blades, and they had a mill with a milling bit, and they had it just right, and they put it on and run it over, and then flip it over and do the other side with it. Now, it just
Mm-hmm.
mainly took off a lot of mass. You're just gonna have to go back and still hand clean that up. That was a cool idea. The question is that still handmade? I would say so because it's probably just removing just the bulk material. But you're gonna have to go back in and true that up, with your on your belt grinder, and then clean up with hand and whatever. Um, that's something. Something there's an idea or something.
Yeah.
If you got a mill, I mean, if you're in that kind of, if I was going to do that, that's something I'd definitely do. I've been watching a lot of videos of Montana Knife Company, John Smith's. That's kind of where I want to go. My dream is, but not what he's doing. That works for him and his everything. Great product they're putting out. Um, I want to take from forging, making steel or forging out just straight out of straight steel, mono steel on up through that way. Because I enjoy the part for me is in forging the blade out and grinding. That's my two favorite part. Like you lay up and the glue and all that. I don't know how I did it, but I glued part of my lips shut one day. Don't ask me how I did that. That was fun. Ripped half my beard out. Yeah, but that's kind of where I want to go on a larger side. Have other people underneath making basically like Cowboy's doing with his stuff. He's got other makers under him that they make Cowboys knives, Phoenix knives. And then I want a section just for myself so I can do classes and work with veterans and first responders and troubled youth and such. That's kind of my goal, my end game in life is that's my retirement plan plus a restaurant. So, yeah, I got a lot of irons in the fire up here.
Yeah.
So,
It
um,
sounds like less Montana Knife Company, more half face blades. Are you familiar with half face blades?
sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
I don't know him personally, but he's a big company who has his. I would say his knives are more handmade leaning than production. Like they're still production to a certain degree because of the volume he's putting out. But he has quite a few makers who work for him who make
Nice.
stuff.
That's cool. I'll have to check them out. You'll have to send me that name over. I'll have to check that out.
Mhm.
So what in your process, where do you see yourself in the next few years? Are you continuing still working, doing that hustle? Do you want to get more into your line of stuff if things pick up better? Do you want to taper off?
I flow, man. I flow with the market. So I mean, obviously, I want to get busier and busier, but realistically, there's only so much one guy can do by himself. Um,
Are you thinking about bringing on apprentice or some, family, making like a family venture?
Not yet, but it could get to that point. Probably sooner than I would hope for. At the rate I'm going the past couple of years, but it's yeah, I flow with it. I go wherever the market takes me.
Hey, I
So
like
if if people stop asking me to do stuff on NDAs, then I'm gonna start dropping my own lines and mass quantities and see what I can do with that. You can't. I think a lot of guys lead themselves to failure in this because they're so rigid. I only do this. I only do it this way. Well, that's respectable, but is in my opinion is flawed thinking and it's not conducive for growth.
I agree. I was in my kind of my set ways on that, and then I kind of started changing things a few years ago. I only make this style, a drop point hunter Skinner, and then I got burned out on that personally. But I've been going a little more flow. I worked for a couple places last year into this. Last year I guess we're 2026 now. Holy shit. Um, uh, till last year, up till like August, I worked for one place, and we had a mutual breakup. It was more mutual than they honestly think, but. I went back and I've been doing pretty good. Buddy of mine, Dan of Valor Printing LLC, check them out, valorprintingllc.com. Sorry, Dan, I'm plugging you. If you like it, I know they're swamped. You gotta check out his comics. Cogs, look up Cog Comics. That's some cool shit. All hand done.
Oh, nice. He did your logo for you.
Yes, not this one, but my he did the Mike's Damascus Knife logo. He did the American Bladesmith for the YouTube channel. We're also doing we were going to try to start filming here a while back, but things just life got going. Everybody got busy, but we did a show called Beat the Smith. We got 3 episodes on that, where other people took my knife class, came back and competed, and then I competed against my daughter, who also makes knives. She started at 10 years old. Makes nice when she decides now she's like, well, I really need some money. Can I come use the shop? I got it. So, but oh shit, I just lost my train of thought where I was going with this. Anyway, divert back. But that's who. Oh yeah, the logos and such. That's who does my shit for them. Do really great. You can just email them. You'll talk to Lyrica when you email them, and they're great to work with. Um, just being clear on what you want, kind of thing. If you want to even send the logo you got and say, "Hey, make this look even better," and yeah, he doesn't care for AI because he's one of those naturally talented artists. It's just like, damn.
Yeah, I was gonna make it a point to apologize to you publicly on the show because I released our new logo and it is almost identical to your logo.
That's all right. I like it. I mean, I
Yeah,
looked at us first. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of close to it." I mean, you can change it up a little bit. I mean, I like especially your podcast. Your Hammer and Grind podcast. I like that. I mean, in our industry, it's going to be hard not to. I mean, it's
copy a logo. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you can blame Grok. I'm not ashamed. I used AI. It was very free and instantaneous.
not. I use ChatGPT and Grok myself. So shout out
Yeah.
to Elon. Um,
I always make sure to thank the AI when I'm done so that they put me on the do not kill list when
right.
when Skynet takes over.
As when I did this one, Dan's comment was Sarah Connor would be so disappointed with you. I'm like, ouch. So
Uh,
besides you're introvert, I get that. I'm kind of that myself, but I like to get out. When you get decide besides getting out, any other hobbies but knife making, fishing, hunting, baking?
um, I am a big MMA fan.
Nice. Let's
I
talk
watch
about that.
I watch every UFC event. I don't miss a single one. Um, and
I'm
that's
trying to get
another time I
myself
get
into
out.
that.
Yeah, that's another time when I get out of my hobby hole here in my garage because me and the bros, I have brothers, and we'll meet up and watch UFC fights and just hang out and pig out on junk food. Um,
Yeah, just
but
don't do too much. You get one of these. So.
oh, I got it, bro. We're practically
Oh
twins.
yeah, right. We need to get like. Do you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah, I
You ever
saw
watch
him
that
live
episode
this
called The
summer.
Bro? It's not the bra, but it's the bro.
Yeah,
That's
the
funny.
bro.
I was telling my daughter about that. I was like, I need to get me a bro. She's like, you need a bra? No, it's called the bro. Get it right.
Yeah, it was George Costanza's $1 million idea.
Yeah. No, yep, George, and then Kramer. So yeah.
Yep. I actually saw Jerry Seinfeld live this summer.
No shit.
Yeah, because he's still doing stand up.
I see he did come to Salt Lake City one time, and I didn't have the money. That'd be awesome. I'm a,
It, I didn't have a whole lot of expectation going into it because he's 70 years old, and most of the comedy stand up you hear of him is like, "What's with airplane peanuts?" and just that ridiculousness. He didn't do any of that. It was very solid stand up comedy. His experience really showed. Me and my buddies were like, "Wow, this is really good." And
nice.
so last year, not last year, but 2024, I went to 5 different big time stand up acts because they just now started coming to my area. So every time one showed up, me and the boys would go. So like last year, I saw Tom Segura, Theo Vaughn, Bill Burr, um, the Impractical Jokers. That was terrible. And then we have a local comedian here who's named Bob Marley.
I've
And
heard of that name.
so you've seen the Boondock Saints?
I think so. That does sound familiar.
He's the annoying cop. He's the one who's like, he was a huge freaking
Oh,
guy.
yeah, that's right. Okay,
That's
I've seen that. All right.
yeah, that's Bob Marley. Of all
Nice.
of them, Bob Marley was my favorite, but he's the king of New England comedy, so it was localized like jokes. But
What the ones I've seen so far is Blue Collar Comedy Tour when they first came out in 2023 or 2000. Yeah, God, here we go with the tongue tied. I was going to try now. 2003 when I graduated high school. Shows you how old I am. And then if I'd have realized Billingsl's one deal he did in Salt Lake, I didn't realize it was his retirement deal.
mhm.
He's done. He's retired. I kicked myself in the nuts for not buying tickets to that. He lives here in Utah in Park City, so God, that'd be fun to get him on the show here. So, do you like, you live up Maine? I'm guessing you like lobster, right?
I don't give a shit about lobster, bro.
Uh,
that's a that's the thing about Maine. We're known for lobster, but Mainers, it's not like a main thing on our diet. It's
kind of Maine
still
deal, huh?
it's still 16.99 a pound in the grocery store, and a for live lobster. And
Damn.
so it's it's whatever for me. It's not a
Um,
delicacy here like it is everywhere else. Um,
I haven't been up to Maine. I'd sure like to go up there. I mean, I try to keep politics out of it, but goddamn, your government up there is just weird. You don't hear a lot, but lately it seems like it's like Maine's
they're
like,
fuck. Oh, sorry. I know you don't. You're trying to.
oh, go
They're
ahead. Yeah,
screwing
I
up.
can.
They're screwing up, bud. We have a higher tax burden up here than California does, with
No
a
shit.
a state with 1.2 million people. So it's rough. It's because it's the same as everywhere, though. You have one centrally populated area that decides one way, and the rest of the state feels a different way. But since you
Sounds
have
like Illinois,
yeah, since
Chicago,
you have
right? Chicago.
one person per square mile in the rest of the state versus 1,000 people per square mile in the bottom of the state, you know, we get
Yeah,
outvoted. It
yeah.
is what it is.
Bend over without, not even the courtesy of that.
And we do have the ugliest governor in the country.
Yeah, I'll say that for sure. Wow.
She looks like Austin Powers.
Watch, we're gonna get a cease and desist on this. Ah, screw it.
She's a
Um,
horrible person. She got booed off stage. That we do a moose lottery here for a hunting license. So
ooh.
if you want to shoot a moose, you have to enter in a lottery, win or lose, whatever. And when she was went on stage to read off who won the moose lottery, she got booed off stage.
I'll bet. We have to, it's a once in a lifetime draw here in Utah for that. We got the smallest moose. You guys got moose that you can just walk underneath, not realize they're there. Uh,
Yeah, moose are notoriously territorial. They're very mean. Um, and if you don't live around moose, you're not really aware of it. They will trample you to death
oh yeah.
if you see one out in the woods.
They have
And
the
they're humongous, bro. They're 13 feet tall at the top of their head.
Yep. There is actually three different species of moose. Did you know that?
Well, they're the largest member of the deer family.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's the species of that moose we got here are actually the smallest on the compared to what you guys got up there.
Oh, yeah.
I unfortunately had a tackled one with a coal truck one time. He came out of nowhere. I didn't see him. I tried to get the binders. Unfortunately, ended up killing him. He hit me. Let's put it that way. Middle of the night, couldn't see him. It was too late. Um, got out of the back into phone service, called dispatch. Hey, we want to let DNR know this, or this. And she's like, "Did you go back and see if he was dead?" I was like, "Are you serious? Moose? I only got a 380 in my truck, in the dark with possibly very pissed off moves. I'm not suicidal." She's like,
Yeah.
"Fair enough."
Our moose, if you hit them on your car, they live and you die.
Yes, you got I can't remember this. You got the largest one. I think the largest moose species up in your area.
Yeah, whichever ones we have are the same ones that they have in Alaska.
Yeah,
And if you hit them, their legs are so long that you'll just take their legs out, and the 1 ton body of it will land on the roof of your car. And that's usually how people go out here if they hit a moose. Is
yeah,
It's pretty quick.
I'll
Um,
bet.
yeah,
That's a big animal. Have you ever used moose antler for handles? That's some interesting stuff to play with.
I did once. I had a bunch of it, and I don't really like playing with stag. I don't like organics other than wood because it smells so bad, bro. It's like my shop stinks like burning hair and pumpkin for some reason. The last time I used moose antler, we actually at my day job, we had my boss has like rental units for businesses in the complex, and one of the guys that had a rental unit, terrible person, but he passed away. And when they cleaned out his office, they took out 2 truckloads of antlers. So one truckload was deer, and then the other truckload was moose, and they let us have a bunch of it.
I don't mind the smell. I've used it from deer antler to elk to moose. I don't mind it. The dogs love it because when I get grinding, if it's springtime where I got my doors open and everything, the dog will be in there. If there's some on the ground, it looks like he's chasing a line of coke.
Yeah,
He picked his nose up and he just like lines like this of white powder. It's like pitcher.
yeah.
Hashtag dog got a problem.
I have a grinding room. It's right behind me, actually, behind that Phoenix Abrasive poster.
Yeah, hey,
And
shout out to Sean Ryan of Phoenix Abrasive. Hey,
yep.
next time you call and talk to Sean, do this for me. Tell him it's codename Jasmine.
Okay. I usually deal with Greg.
Call and talk to Sean, and if just one time. I yet try to get somebody in there. Um, and I'm glad pointed your sign out there. Them guys are great. Just if you answer it up, just tell them, hey, can I talk to Sean? And they ask you who's calling, say it's Jasmine,
Yeah.
and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. But I have the grinding room. I don't let the dogs in there because I have two hounds and then a mutt. We're not sure what she is. So I got three total. And the hounds are like hounds. Their noses are on the ground constantly.
So you don't want
And
to.
yeah, I don't want them sniffing up metal dust mixed with G10 and micarta and all the other nasty stuff, angle grinder, black dust, and yeah,
I've got a vacuum, a vacuum, not a vacuum, a dust collection fan system that sucks it outside. That helps a little bit, but it
yep.
still goes everywhere. I really need to get me. What I want to do is get me a downdraft that comes on behind me.
I've got one in the roof that sucks the dust out, but I need a bigger blower. But when I'm doing a lot of like black handles, and right now it's snowy out, I'll go outside around the side of the shop, and it'll just be black in the snow.
I've got a dust collector outside because I live in a neighborhood, so I got to keep that down.
Oh yeah,
There for a while, I just kind of blew it out in a bucket, but it's like, yeah, I better do something else because there's people moving in from California here, and so when if we find out they're from California, this is leave your California ways there or leave.
I think that anybody moving state, no matter what your political affiliation, if you go to any other state, you shouldn't be allowed to vote in that state for 5 years.
I like
That's
it,
what I that's what I think.
but at the same time, the libertarian in me screaming no. But I
Right.
agree.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying on there. Definitely.
I feel like it establishes a level of permanence. Do you know what I mean? Because you can just go buy a house in another state and be like, that's where I'm living, but you're never there. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But that's just me. I have no say. I only vote on like spending items, line items. I don't vote for people
Mm.
because I don't trust any of them. So it doesn't.
Well, you're kind of dumb if you do trust them. Um,
They
I,
don't give us good
I
choices anymore. So if they want to spend my tax dollars and have me vote on that, I'll go vote for that. But as far as like your guy versus my guy, I'm not voting for either one of them. So I don't care.
that's understandable. I get
I mean,
that.
I do care as an American, but what's my vote going to do if they're both assholes? So
I,
it's
I, I
whatever.
I look at it this way. People, so I've got a few people, friends of mine that don't vote anymore. I says, look, if the reason why I vote, if anything breaks out in a civil war or whatever, I can shoot with a clear conscience. That's probably going to get that flag, but oh well, fuck it.
That's all right.
Um, Go ahead.
I was going to say I like it. It's fine. It's fine. I'll protect my little half acre.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
That's about what I'm sitting on is half acre.
Yep.
Um, so what else does Ryan you like doing besides all that? I mean, get sure you're a family man and everything else, wife, kids.
Yeah, my kids are grown. I got an 18 and 19-year-old boys. And yeah, my shop is 16 feet away from the house, so it's like I hardly ever leave. I do enjoy degenerate gambling every now and again. I like to bet on the fights that I watch. But
Nice.
other than that, I am a textbook workaholic, bro. I work every day, 7 days a week, never ends. As soon as we get off this podcast, I'm gonna go watch a movie with the wife and then start my night shift. I have super weird sleep hours. I go to bed at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and wake up around 11.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I've myself, I've had to stop at least one day a week. I used to get real bad at that, and I got myself burned out. So I've kind of learned. Again, it doesn't work for everybody, but for me myself, yeah, gotta have at least one day of not doing shit. So,
Yeah.
matter of fact, when
And
we get off here, I'm gonna go watch the new series of Star Trek. Everybody's bitching about it, but I like to watch Star Trek for just Star Trek. I block out their little stupid stuff in there. Um, they're promoting different things, and it's like, shut up, just do Star Trek. Let's have Star Trek. We don't give a shit about your story. It's just have fun. I just like to escape reality for now and then. So
yeah, I enjoy old movies. We're both 40. So you understand movies from the late 80s to the early 2000s were the golden age of film. They are
you
the
couldn't
best
make,
movies.
you definitely couldn't make some of those movies back then, as they did down, especially Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles, any of them. I mean, realistically, like how often do you see people smoking cigarettes on screen anymore? Back in the 90s, that's all people did.
Hmm.
And but it's just I feel like the way they were made, there was no CGI, so it was real explosions, real puppeteers. I just to my old unchangeable brain, they look better. Don't get me wrong, I do love the Avengers. I did love the MCU. The spin-offs can kind of screw. I don't really care about stupid spin-offs of characters we already know are dead.
Yep.
That's not really my style. Those were geared towards the younger generation anyways. But yeah, I'm a
Have you
simple
heard
man.
they're coming out with Spaceballs too?
I have, and John Goodman's son is playing
I seen that.
Barf's puppy son, whatever.
I,
And
I I can't wait to see how that comes out. I watched a few interviews. Mel Brooks is, thank God he's still with us. So, um,
he's how old is he now? He's got to be in his
fuck, he's in
90s.
his 90s, I think. And here you're trying to watch your language, and here I'm cut loose. Shit, my bad. Um, oh hell, God, I think he's like 94, 95.
He's got to be. He was old back in the day when they
Yes,
made Spaceballs. He was an old man.
yes,
But
yes.
I mean, I'm here for it. I enjoyed Happy Gilmore too. A lot of people hated it. I
I
enjoyed
enjoyed
it.
it. I enjoyed it. I like where Happy Gilmore's coming. He's had enough of Hollywood's bullshit. Um, it's funny to see him out, even when he goes to their little awards
He's wearing a hoodie and
ceremony.
basketball shorts.
Yep. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's me. That's what I'm sitting on right now is just basketball shorts. And, I do like the 49ers. I'm not a big football person. I don't sit and watch every game. There's a couple of years here and there, kind of hit and miss if I want to pay attention or not. Did get a couple of years ago, did get a chance to go watch the playoff game in San Francisco one time. That was badass.
Nice. I went to my first NFL game in November. My brother and one of our buddies, they're big time NFL fans.
Nice.
And it's about a 6 hour drive from me to Boston. So they were
Did you get
playing
some
at,
chowder?
yeah, they were, yeah, they were playing at, what is it, Gillette Stadium. And we drove down and caught the game. And it's an energy, man. I had never been in a crowd of 70,000 people before, but it's crazy. Every time the Patriots scored, they'd wheel a cannon out into the end zone and fire off a cannon. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was definitely. The food was great. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Would like to go do it again. Take my daughter. Um, be thankful you got two boys, no girls. Because oh my God, I love my daughter to death, but some days it's like, and then she's got a little boyfriend that I, put the fear of God into. Apparently, he's scared of
You
me.
gotta.
Because when you have a daughter, you have a million peckers to worry about. When you got two sons, you only got two to worry about. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I always imagined if I had a daughter, it would be like that scene in Bad Boys when they open the door for Reggie, yeah, the daughter's boyfriend. But you
that's
never know.
funny.
I was
Uh,
always I was always the boyfriend that the dads liked and the mothers hated, which I never understood that. The dads
okay.
always loved me, but the moms were always like, I don't know about this guy.
That's interesting. Um, he hasn't officially come ask me to date her yet, and she's trying to get him to. So my deal is when he does, I'm going to show him how to sharpen a shovel.
Tell him you want 16 goats, 2 pigs, 2 horses.
So, we're gonna do at least a few rifles. Come on. No, I'm gonna teach him how to shovel, sharpen a shovel with a file and clean that thing up. And once we're done with that, then we're gonna go out and dig this nice round hole. About 3 feet across. At least 10 feet deep. Or at least get down a little bit. And when he asked me why he's doing that, I'm gonna look at it. It's just because you do anything that you're not supposed to, you're gonna be digging your own grave. So, and my daughter knows I'm gonna do that. She's like, oh God. I met him at the door when he came to ask her a year ago to the homecoming dance. He plays on the football team for the high school that they go to. Met him at the door at the bardiche that I made on Forging Fires. So
Nice. At least you know if he plays football, he has discipline. Um,
true.
to a certain extent. I mean, as much discipline as any teenage boy could have, but being on a football team, he's at least in shape enough to defend your daughter if the need ever came up. Does he have a job?
Not yet. There's circumstances and reasons why he can't. Can't discuss that why, but he wants to. He's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So he better get his driver's license soon too. Because I told her, so you guys ain't really dating until he gets his driver's license and drive you around. I'm not doing that shit. So,
Yeah,
but kids these days, I mean, except for my exception for my daughter, since she turned 15, you can get your learner's permit then. And she's like, nope, let's go get it. She got her learner's permit. Year later, boom, she got her driver's license. Yeah, she was on it. So, um, anything you want to cover on this? Tell us about. Actually, you know what? I was gonna had a question. What got you started into your podcast? What made you decide to give it a go? And
I actually inherited my podcast, so I was a guest on the show, um, and then they asked me to come back like a month later and be a guest again. And then like a month after that, they asked me to be the third host. And then the two former hosts had a falling out kind of, and then the primary host who owned the podcast decided he didn't want to do it anymore. And instead of just letting it die, I picked it up, and
nice,
that was 2.5 years ago now, and we're way bigger than we were then, and we have 5 primary sponsors and 4 smaller sponsors, and it's its own animal now. It's just
nice.
yeah,
That's where I'm kind of hoping. A couple buddies of mine got how I got into the podcast. I got a couple buddies of mine, Kevin and Brad. They do a lot of help with the shop and everything on this stuff and technology. And I have something. Once we get off here, I got something I'm going to share with you. Something we're working on once they get their app done. I'm working on something for the Blade community. So there's kind of a hint there. So
nice.
um,
You're definitely filling a void that needs to be filled in the knife maker podcast community. The only other person I know of who does a one-on-one interview show now is Fader with his Full Blast. Um, do you know Brian Cohn? Are you familiar with B Cone Knives? He's
probably
he's
again.
on the he's on the Work For It podcast. But he had his own podcast on the side from the Work For It that was a one-on-one interview show, and he did a fantastic job. It was called Work For It 2. Um, so I mean, you could derive inspiration from him, because our show it's an interview show. Yes, like we have a guest on most weeks, to quasi interview, but I function best off the cuff, so we just kind of wing it. And so some episodes, like we had Jason Knight on 3 times, 2 of them we didn't even talk about knives, but
That's kind of what
after,
I've kind of done too as well. I've done a few other things like that, not even knives. Um,
yeah, my mentality on it was, if you're a knife maker, you're obsessed with knives, and your entire day for the most part revolves around knives. Maybe we just want to hear from other knife makers, not about knives.
yep.
So like we have Morocco on and we talk about cartoons or whatever. You know what I
And
mean?
like,
We
you
just we
remember,
just wing it.
speaking of cartoons, you remember Tailspin?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that I found it on Amazon Prime. Um, got to buy it when I get a little money. I'm gonna buy the whole. I'm just gonna buy the whole damn series and just kind of veg out on those days of watching that. That was stuff was cool.
I
So
I always was gravitating towards the cartoons my mom didn't want me to watch, like Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy.
I watched those. Yep.
Yeah.
um, DuckTales. That too.
Yep.
So, uh, what is the worst '80s movie you think?
The worst '80s movie.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm a bad guy to ask that too because I love cheesy B movies. Like the cheesier, the better for me.
Nice.
Um, hmm, worst '80s movie. There was I'm trying to think of the name of it now. The old Kurt Russell Escape from New York and Escape from LA movies.
Yep.
Those were pretty bad. Um,
Still good to watch, but I get that.
like the production quality on them was like they gave him $40 and they were like, here, do what you got to do. But um, I was born in the '80s, so '90s movies are really more
Yeah.
what I can remember. But
I watch. I got older siblings, so I had to watch a lot of that stuff throughout the '80s. The Karate Kid stuff like that. We watched a lot of that. One of the movies that everybody can't stand because I liked it is Howard the Duck. I drove everybody in the household with that movie nuts. So
oh, what about Dark Man? Do you remember Dark Man?
that sounds familiar, but I don't
He
think.
was I can't remember. It's been so long since I've watched it, but he got like burned with an acid bath and became like a superhero.
Oh,
And he's like all wrapped up.
yeah. Shit. I don't think. Yeah. Liam Neeson, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
was Dark Man. And then
Yes.
there was the OG Toxic Avenger in 1984, I believe.
I don't remember. I don't think I watched that one. One of the I think what early '90 movies I think I can remember the most was Tremors. Came out, RoboJocks, stuff like that.
I'm a big Tremors fan. I love me some graboids, dude.
Right. When I first watched back when it first came out, there for a while I have rocks on my front of my property here where the property line is. I couldn't get off on the gravel. It scared the shit out of me there for a little bit. Stayed on the sidewalks or stay on the rocks and such. But that's a good movie.
Yep.
Um, I guess they made a series there for a little bit.
There's four of them, four or five
Well, okay,
Tremors movies.
uh, 4 or 5 Tremor movies, and then I think they made a TV series out of it for a couple seasons,
Get that money. You
right?
got to milk them.
Yeah,
The movies they got wilder and wilder. Like at first it was just the graboids, and then they could walk on top of the ground, and then they could fly, and
yeah.
yeah,
The Ass Blasters I think was a little much, but it was still funny. Um, Burt Gummer is what we always tease my dad. That was my dad's twin brother. That kind of gives you an idea who my dad is. So,
yeah, he's my
uh,
idol.
right, Burt Gummer.
Yeah.
I am completely out of ammo. That's never happened to me before.
Yeah.
I wish Reba McEntire would have come back in a few more of those. That'd have been awesome. She loved Reba McEntire. That's my crush growing up. I
I
don't
didn't
care.
realize
She's still
how
hot,
hot I didn't realize how hot she was back then because I was
right?
such a
She
young
still
kid.
is,
And then I go back and watch it now, and I'm like, damn, Reba was a fox, dude.
right?
I have a thing for gingers too. Everybody knows that. I love me a redhead. I've had two redheaded wives. Yeah, that's my thing. Everybody's got a type. Mine are gingers.
I'm
Um,
all over the board, but Ginger's, yeah, I can see it.
Reba was a legend. Still is.
Oh, she's still freaking sexy.
Yep. It was
I
a
hear she's single. I might be Spanish. No,
yeah. Hit her up. Slip in her
right?
DMs, Mike.
Right. Yeah, and then the restraining order shortly after, right?
Yeah, or
Oh.
security shows up at your house. Yeah.
Uh, I just take him out. Hey, you want to make a knife, dude?
Yeah.
Um, so you're into manufacturing. You work for do other things like that for knives. You like good movies. Um, How do you like your steak cooked? I'm just gonna do some weird stuff off the cuff kind of thing here.
Oh, medium rare.
Oh man.
Fatty too. I like me a fat steak. I want a lot of fat in my steak.
Personally, it's like the old movie, The Cowboy Way, knock off its horns, wipe its nasty old ass, and slap it on the plate. I've told people, hey, just feel lucky I'm not out in the field chewing on it with a salt shaker. So,
Yeah. I don't want like a blue rare.
oh,
Medium
now
rare is good, but
a
I'm
little
also
bit,
not a
just a little bit after blue, but I mean, still twitching on the plate. That would be good for me.
yeah, I don't like a cool center. I want it to at least be warm.
Well,
But
I'll eat raw meat. Dustin Rhodes got me hooked on this. You take and make sure you got to go to you got to trust the supermarket you go to or whatever, and get the either the flank steak and cut it up little squares, or I like to get the stew meat.
mm,
Throw that in some either teriyaki sauce or soy sauce. Let it soak for a couple hours. I'll eat it raw.
that's wild, bro.
I'm going to tell you one thing. It's a mind game at first, but afterwards, and Dustin says like he just started doing it by accident one time, and he's like, my guts didn't hurt, and he's
Because
right. I've ate it raw. I don't do it all the time, but I mean, what it really any different than eating raw fish, which I love sushi.
yeah,
Good.
I heard that on the Emily episode. I will not consume raw fish. Coming from a seafood state, nope. I'm all good.
All right, why won't you do it?
Because I don't want worms, dude.
Ah, I guarantee you I don't got worms. If I had worms, I think I'd be a lot thinner. You know what? I could go for a case of worms, but you definitely got to trust the place when you get that stuff.
Yeah, I know ton of my wife and my kids love sushi. My older son worked at a sushi place for a little while. It's just not my jam. It's just not, you know. I worked in restaurants for a really long time, so I'm very particular about food. I won't eat leftovers. Like my wife doesn't even bother to save them anymore. I'm like I'm not gonna eat it.
Oh,
I
I love leftovers. So I'll actually cook a meal and then for the week. But I like leftovers. Me, I'm weird.
I'm
But
no I'm the weird one, bro. It's me. I Everybody else eats leftovers except for me. It's just not. I
actually,
don't know.
a buddy of mine, I got another friend who won't eat leftovers. Like, nope, won't do it.
Yeah,
Like, okay, I'll take it. um, but I don't know. I like a good food. I mean, my parents cooked. One thing when we were growing up, my parents still do a great garden to this day. It used to be a lot bigger when we were younger. And the one thing that sucked about summer break is mom worked for the sheriff's department, and a lot of times dad would do a breakfast, and he would whatever was ripe in the garden went into it.
yeah.
Everything was great, but I cannot stand eggplants. To this day, will not eat eggplant. Ugh. And that's what you had for breakfast. And if you didn't eat that, you went hungry. But usually pick out the eggplant and throw it away when he wasn't looking. But that stuff's just nasty. But the rest of it was
Yeah,
great. You fry that up and cracked a whole bunch of eggs on it. It was good food, other than the eggplant and cottage cheese. That should be banned. Cottage cheese is just nasty.
I got a whole tub of it waiting for me inside with
Jesus.
a little bit of salt and pepper. I love it, bro.
That shit ain't fit for coyote poison. Let's just put it that way.
I'm with you on the eggplant. I don't. It's not in my regular diet. I don't know if I would refuse it, but I can't remember the last time I had it. It's not something I regularly eat. Usually, I have like a immature chuckle when I walk past them in the grocery store because it's the dick emoji.
Coneheads.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Well,
or
I
cone
see him in
heads.
the supermarket. That's the thing goes through my head. That scene where she's in the supermarket and she sees it and grabs it.
Yeah, I actually just rewatched that movie the other day.
Nice.
Yep. I've started putting movies on when I'm in the shop.
Same.
So that way, like if it's something I've already watched, I'm not tempted to get drawn into it because I already know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But
Um,
Coneheads is just that's a classic.
that's what I do. I got TV. I used to have a surround sound system until the mice got in it. Should I need to pull it apart? I bet you they just ate a wire
Mm-hmm.
because it still puts the sound out. Just got a hmm. So I think they chewed a wire on the equalizer or whatever. Fucking mice. I hate mice. Um, in a knife shop, a lot of times if the dogs are not in there and I can, I'll throw a knife at them. I've actually got one mice and nailed it dead right in the head, side of the head with a knife. I was like, of course, I didn't take a picture of that. I wish I would have. I don't know why I didn't.
I've
Wish I
only
would.
ever seen one in here when I'm in here. But I have a bunch of those like wireless cameras, and I put one on the floor one night just to see what would happen. And within 15 minutes of me leaving the shop and shutting it off, it was like a city in here,
Shit.
just going nuts. I did catch a rat in here 2 years ago. It was humongous. It was 16 inches long.
Jesus.
He
Dinner.
was gigantic. Um, but with the dogs and two of them being hounds, like, and I have two cats. There's the rodents are pretty well under control. I have a little beagle hound, and she'll actually catch mice out of the snow. So like
Nice.
you know how mice will like tunnel into the snow.
Mhm.
She'll just stand there and wait and grab them as they
Nice.
walk
That's a good
underneath
dog.
her.
That dog deserves a steak at the end of the day.
Oh, she's a princess. She's spoiled.
Oh,
She's spoiled. She's 9 years old. She's my homie.
we got a healer and a Heinz 57. The DNA test, one of his siblings out of the litter got DNA test on it that comes back as 100% Reaver, and it's most of it's lab. There's some prominent features and a few other, German chip. It's really cool to see what the DNA of it is. It's like that explains why it's got border collie in it. It's like that explains the boom, 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 boom. I hate those dogs.
Yeah.
I don't.
I encourage most dog owners to get their dog's DNA tested if they don't know for sure, because it helps with raising your dog if you know what your dog is.
True.
Um,
Never heard of Reaver before. I mean, 100% Reaver. I'm like, okay, that's something new. Uh,
yeah,
he's
it's new to me.
he
I've never
he's
heard
got
it.
a visit with the vet here soon. His conies are going bye bye. We got a healer about 6 years ago. Damn, that's the first time I ever had a healer. Best damn dog, except for he's ball crazy. He wasn't for the first 3 years of his life, but a buddy of mine brought this one ball down. And he fell in love with it, and I fucking just that dog's throw the ball, please, throw the ball. And someone's like, "Well, get an on back thrower." It's like, no, that dog will kill himself. He will have a stroke or a heart attack if he learns how to. And he would, but he's a damn. And them damn healers are damn good dog. That's the only dog I regret not regret getting him castrated. I should have kept him as a stud because he turned out so good looking for healers. A lot of people are like, is he fixed? I was like, sadly, yes.
I
I got
I haven't fixed my boy yet. I have two females and a male, and the male is a purebred blue tick coonhound, and
ooh.
I just don't see the need to fix him because he's not aggressive. He's not a humper. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And we have a fenced in yard, so it's not like, you know what I mean? I feel bad. I feel bad.
But yeah, but I'm familiar with hounds. My neighbor, growing up, where on the farm there had hounds, and especially the Redford and Groves. That's a good movie. So
Yeah.
sad,
Yeah.
sad, sad fucking movie, but it's still a good movie. We watched it
I have a
tonight.
I have a soft spot for hounds. The noise that people hate, I love. So like when Vern looks at me and he's like, boo, I'm like,
Right,
I love
right.
it. I love it.
They got definitely got a good. They're not for everybody. They're good dogs. Matter of fact, where was I? I can't remember where the hell it was. Oh, it was here in town. Somebody had a. It was a hound, but it was a South African hound. I
A
can't.
Rhodesian Ridgeback,
Yep.
yeah,
Beautiful. Beautiful
all
dog.
red. Yeah.
Deep red. I'm like, damn. Um, he was
Yeah. Those are
gorgeous.
called African lion dogs because they were bred to hunt lions.
Uh, I could see why. They're the first one I ever seen. I didn't know they existed until that one, and he was friendly little bastard too. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I love dogs. That's like I like dogs more than people, which some people say is a red flag, but I don't care.
hey, if my dog doesn't trust you, you probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes I get home, my wife's in a pissy mood. She's not happy to see me.
at
My
least the
dogs
dog
are
is.
always happy to see me.
Hey, especially if you got teenagers, right? Well, at least the
Yeah.
dog's happy to see you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they're spoiled little buttholes. They sleep inside. The healer is pretty particular on where he sleeps. There for a lot of times, because he'd sneak downstairs and shit in the middle of the night. He's gotten better now. He's learned hey, he'll come scratch at my door and wake me up. All right, let's go outside. But there for a while, he went to his kennel, tell him to go to bed. He'd sit there and he'd look at you about 8 o'clock, 8:30. It's bedtime. He's ready to go to bed. He'll whine until I had to literally walk him to bed, tuck him in, and close the kennel before he'd go lay down.
I
Now he's gotten a lot better. I let him just kind of wander the house a little bit. He'll either sleep in his kennel or he'll go kick out on the couch. And there's some nights I have to tuck him in too. He just sit there, give you those damn eyes. He's like, oh bastard. Here, all right, here, I tuck you in. Good night. Go to sleep.
I can't say shit. I my both of my girl dogs sleep under my blanket and they each have their own pillow. So it's I can't really say much.
No, not my bed. Sorry. No, I used to have a cat and a little chihuahua. I accidentally ran the chihuahua over by accident years ago. That was a damn good little dog. They used to sleep there. I'd wake up with that cat sleeping on on my chest, and there for a while, and that was a damn good house cat. There for a while, I couldn't go to bed unless she was sleeping on my chest. Only one at home, had the kids every other weekend. I finally holler at her, "Come on, let's go to bed." She'd come in. Here comes Chihuahua. Chihuahua lay me between my legs at night. That was my first alert animal. Anything outside you, both of them were damn good animals. Had to put the cat down here a couple of years ago. She got diabetic, um,
Hmm.
to the point where she'd go to the bathroom and that the kitty litter box would be about that full of fluids. And it's like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
that was sad. Um, Anything cool? You got anything on the side that you're working on just for shits and giggles or for something that
I have a money pit that I
okay.
throw my money at. It's a 1988 Toyota Hilux.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a rust bucket. It's a little bit less of a rust bucket now. I got quite a bit of work done to it this summer. Um, but I like going back to old movies. I was always a fan of Back to the Future, and his truck was in 1985.
That's right.
I couldn't find an 85. I stumbled onto an 88. It's the same exact truck. So, yeah,
That
I bought it, traded a couple guns and some money for it.
nice.
Yeah. The problem
Um,
here is the snow and the salt on the roads in the wintertime. So old Toyota pickups don't survive here. So like mine, uh, on the driver's side this summer, I had to replace the rear cab corner and all the way to the front cab corner. That whole stretch was gone.
yep.
Like
I've
reach
done
my
that.
hand, yeah, reach my hand into the truck from outside. Yeah, the floorboard's still out of it. That's gonna go in as soon as it's warm enough to do anything outside with. But yeah, that's my money pit. I ordered a tailgate for it yesterday.
I got the original truck that I bought when I was 15, a 1982 Chevrolet Scottsdale.
Nice
Lifted
step
it and
side,
everything. What's that?
step side.
Fleet side, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, First year of that particular trick that came out with because before that was it this way? The lights are on the side lights here. The marker lights were this way, but on 82 they did this way, and then the first year they did the dual square lights. I got it out here. It's not going anywhere. Um, I've had a lot of money offered on it and everything else. Like, no, sorry. If you could pay the value of the memories of that truck, because it was my firstborn daughter's, that was her truck when she was little before she passed away. I carried her in the cemetery with that. So, no, not for sale. I'll do
yeah,
so. But yes, I mean those trucks are God. You look at them now; it's like brand new back in the '80s, like what 4 or 5 thousand, $6,000. Buddy of mine just sold a 1984. I think he got like $45,000 out of it, and it was in mint condition. Some of them I've seen up to 80,000.
yeah. My neighbor has a 71 Blazer in out on the edge of the field behind my house, and it's just sitting there. I'm like, how much? How much? It's like I'm gonna restore it one day. I'm like, dude, I've heard that before. How much? I actually believe he will. He actually has the money to restore a vehicle, so I believe he will. He knows how rare that is.
That is a nice vehicle.
Yeah. Removable top, crank down rear window, like the back window. Yeah, that thing's sweet.
I'll bet it is. Yeah, there was something I was going to say on that. Damn it. I hate that when you have that thought right there and you're holding on to it and you're holding on to it and then it goes. So, I restored that truck back in high school. It needs to be overhauled again. I used to have that 6.2 diesel in it back in the day. I threw a 350 after I blew up the rebuild 6.2 I did. I thought about putting a Cummins in it, or honestly, it'd be kind of fun to. I thought either put a 6.2 gasser in it or put me a Duramax in it. So kind of that into that a little bit. That'd be kind of fun to do. But yeah, it's a good truck. It ain't going anywhere. I like my 2011 Chevy truck. That's a nice. That's the first thing I bought brand new for me. Well, new to me, I should say. I had 140,000 on it, but been a great truck. I took it all over hell. Drove it clear to the East Coast and back. Um, People looked at me kind of funny on that as well. But um, anything going? We're getting kind of hour and a half here, so I don't want to molest your time. Plus, dinner's about done. Anything you want to share about knife making, movies, something? This kind of where I want to invite you to share kind of a cool message or something positive. Words of wisdom, as I called it. That's the word I was looking for.
I don't know, man. I'm not much I'm not much of a wise guy. I don't know. Put me on the spot. That's
Oh yeah,
tough.
you're welcome.
Uh yeah. I don't know. Just keep trucking. Don't be a bitch.
I like it. That
Yeah.
works. Short,
I
sweet, and
mean,
everything else.
what else can you do?
Just keep
Yeah.
hammering it and grinding it out.
Yeah. Keep hustling
Um,
and grinding.
so you got what? When do you release your podcast? Every episode once a week or
Yeah, we record Sundays and it comes out on Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning? Nice.
Yep. Our
All
guest this
available on
week,
all podcasts. How about YouTube or no?
we were doing video, but the bandwidth started to become an issue. So like the final straw for me stopping video was we had Dave Baker on, and the whole episode was all screwed up because his internet sucked. So there was a delay with him to my computer, and because video takes a lot of bandwidth. So we switched to audio only after that. That was kind of the last straw. Like when you have a Forged in Fire legend on,
Mm.
former host or current host if they're still airing.
Now,
And
Forge of Fire is done.
yeah, and you know, and the audio is all screwed up. Kind of makes you
Had
look
I
like a
had that issue
jackass.
with Pat Bean. He lives in rural Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like get Starlink. He's like, no.
Yeah. And audio only, it's a little better, but we've had guests on from all over the world. I mean, and my co-host is West Coast. I'm East Coast, and then we do a lot of Austrian guys like Martin Huber, Tobias Hangler, a bunch of really high-level Austrian guys have come on. So they're 6 hours ahead of me. So it's the middle of the night for them when we record, and so we stopped doing video, but we're on all audio platforms.
Nice.
Uh,
Right on. If anybody wants to reach out to you to purchase a knife from you, where can they go?
Message me on Instagram is probably the best place. If you find me on Facebook, message my personal page, not my business page, because for some reason Facebook doesn't like to send me notifications from my business page.
Yeah, do you have the Business Suite on your phone, Business Suite app from Facebook?
No, they have one.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
called
even know
Business
about that.
Suite,
Oh,
and it'll tie in your business from Facebook and Instagram together, so you can post one there. It's
uh,
pretty good. So
I'll check it out. But yeah, if you're trying to get a hold of me, message me on Instagram.
awesome. And
And
you'll
the
pretty
Hustle and
much,
Grind podcast is also has its own Instagram page.
yeah, shout out all your socials real quick, and that way everybody can find it. And
Basically, the primary one is Instagram, and then this Facebook.
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I
all
have a
right.
website, but I haven't updated it in like 3 years. I use it for invoicing mainly.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mainly do most of mine off Facebook. I haven't had much luck with Instagram.
See, I'm the opposite. I get no traction on Facebook, but I actually generate sales off Instagram. And I've heard a lot of people say that, what you just said, that they get no traction on Instagram and get a lot of sales off Facebook.
I'm building I'm slowly building that. I'm chiseling that. I'm just shy of 4,500 people on Facebook. I'm over 1,000 on Instagram. I've got the other ones too, and I really don't, I can't stand it. I use Omniclip to cut my things down. I bought the package for that. Just said screw it and just bought it. Like the same with Zoom here. I bought the year package and then I used the RSS for the launch plan for the podcast. Thanks to Brad and Kevin who helped started with them and did a little bit with their to kind of learn the ropes of oh, for hell's sakes, you can't find. I'm sure there's episodes still up there. I've drawn a blank on the name of their podcast. Oh, they're gonna kill me. Oh, for hell's sakes. But yeah. Anyway, all right. We're gonna kick out here. I'm gonna stop the recording and just carry on. I'm gonna something to drop on you and see what you think. Um, hey, stay sharp, America. Thanks, Ryan. Right, Ryan. Right.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Your little name chat names there kind of threw me off for a second.
Put the beginning of my email on there.
Oh yeah, duh.
Yeah, Meester. It's a cat I used to have. R.I.P. Mr. Meester.
Nice. Um, yeah. As we say in the shop, stay sharp, America. Remember, Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. Have a great night. Uh, check him out. Get him on Instagram, Facebook, website.
Yep. Yeah. It's not much on there, but you can message me there too.
What's your website?
Coakley Knife Company.
All right, there you go. Hey, thanks again for joining us. Share us out. Drop us a comment. Let us know what we're doing. If I'm doing good or bad, I don't care. Give me those comments. Let's hear them. All right. Thanks, America.